Do you have to forgive someone who's hurt you? Welcome back. I'm Gila Ross, host of the Power Up podcast, where we share short, relatable ideas to upgrade and impact your everyday life. And in this series of Torah for Today, we take a short idea from the Torah portion of the week and bring it to enhance our lives. How do we define cruelty? A few weeks ago, someone asked me, do you have to forgive someone who's hurt you? Unfortunately, it's a question that a lot of us have grappled with at some point or other in our life. If someone's done something hurtful, maybe they've done something really hurtful to us or to someone that we love, do we have to forgive them? In the desert, the Jewish people spoke badly about God and Moses, and as a result, God sent snakes that bit the Jewish people, and a lot of them were dying. The Jewish people at this point realized what they had done. They acknowledged their mistake, and they went to Moses and they asked Moses to please pray to God on their behalf to take these snakes away. And Moses did. He listened to their apology, and he went and he prayed to God on their behalf. Rashi, one of our rabbis that comments on the Torah stories, tells us that from here we see that if someone asks someone else for forgiveness, we should forgive them. And a person whose friend asks them for forgiveness and they don't forgive them, he calls that person an achzar. An achzar is a cruel person. It seems a really strong word to use about someone who doesn't forgive someone else. We wouldn't say that's cruelty. There are a few other surprising examples of cruelty that's given. Maimonides says that someone who doesn't mourn for someone who's passed away is also called an achzar, this word which means cruelty. And there's another example that's also given, that if someone, that a calamity, a tragedy, something terrible happens and a person doesn't cry out to God, instead they just say, it was a coincidence, or they don't think about it, that person's also called an achzar, a cruel person. It seems these are three very strange examples of what we would call cruelty. It's not what we would necessarily call cruelty. So how do we define cruelty? Rosh Hashanah Hirsch, a rabbi that lived in Germany, says that the word achzar, which means cruelty, actually comes from two words. Word number one is ach, which means entirely, and zar, which means foreign. So this word cruelty, achzar, actually means entirely foreign. And what does it mean? He's saying that what cruelty actually means is when someone entirely distances themselves from someone else. So if two friends, or if a person has been upset by someone else and the friend comes and tries to make amends and asks for forgiveness in a sincere way, and the person distances themselves and is not willing to repair that relationship, to reconnect with the other person, there's a cruelty there, because they are utterly distancing themselves from the other person. The same thing, if God forbid something happens and a person, instead of realizing that came from God and using that as an opportunity to develop their relationship with God, says, it was just happenstance, it was just a coincidence, then they too are distancing themselves from God, right? They are being entirely foreign, entirely distant from God. And that's what's at the heart of cruelty, is when a person is distant from the other. And it's the antithesis of what Judaism is all about. Judaism is all about our relationship to God, our Creator, our relationship to ourselves, and our relationship to other people. The Torah, the mitzvot, they're all there in order to help us foster that relationship, those relationships, our relationship with God and with others, to build closeness and kindness and ultimately bring peace to the world. And the more that we can connect to others is the more that we counteract that cruelty and we bring that kindness into the world. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'd love to hear if this resonated with you. And if you'd like to discuss it further, you can get in touch with me. You can find me on Instagram at itsgilaross, or you can WhatsApp me. My number is in the show notes, and we can set up a time to discuss this further. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Have a wonderful day, and please take a moment to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast to anyone else who would benefit from it.